Most of us are staying indoors at the moment in our own homes in an effort to try and help tackle this virus. And I applaud everyone for doing so, because it's really helping those people on the front line who are trying to save lives. The problem with staying in close proximity with people for this long is we might not have the methods to cope with that. We're likely to come into conflict with one another. First off, we need to accept and acknowledge that conflict is likely to happen. Conflict happens when two or more people are not getting their needs met. So we can deep dive back into the needs list that we met in the first chapter and go through that, but this time as a group of the people you are living with, or the people you might be meeting online as a social group if you're living on your own. So in order to do that, let's have another look at the list. Like in the first video, choose 3 of these needs to talk about. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the same need as someone else in your group. Then let's discuss why these needs matter to you and what you feel will help you to achieve fulfillment of that need. Each person should take it in turns to speak, and it's the duty of others to listen. We should try not to interrupt during this time. Look on what each person says as a request for help to achieve their needs. Once each person is finished, we can take a moment to ask questions to that person, but the question has to start with us paraphrasing what the person said. If we do this, we'll have to actively listen to each person, and we can gain clarity of meaning. The person we are directing our paraphrasing to can correct us at any point during this. Paraphrasing will help within our question too, by allowing us to acknowledge the speaker's feelings within their own perception of reality. We are truly attempting to understand and stand in another one's shoes. Recognizing others' reality and feelings is really helpful to us properly understanding. But we should also check in on our own when we're making requests of others, to make sure that our requests are set within the context of our reality and feelings. For example, my daughter's finding it a challenge going from schooling to learning at home. She might say, "It is boring to learn at home on your own." I could choose to answer with, "Why don't you concentrate on the work and you'll feel less bored?" But it might be better for me to answer with, "I hear you're feeling bored, and I understand. What are the moments you miss most from learning at school?" Sometimes just reiterating what you understand from what somebody has just said can be an enormous help. And being explicit and saying, "I understand," can bring reassurance to that person. This process of going through the needs again with a group of people is really useful and can be revisited from time to time, even on a weekly basis if you wish. It might be worthwhile as a group spending some time considering the use of a word that somebody can use when they're feeling that there's a moment of conflict arising. This word could be anything you want it to be, but I'd recommend something that wouldn't come up in a normal conversation. When this word is shouted or spoken at a point of conflict, it's up to everyone to retreat from that conflict and take a moment to calm. Now, this can be done separately or can be done together. In the case of families with children, it might be good to do it together to model what happens with the child. My friend Sally Ann Airy runs a course on pause. And pause is a powerful method that allows us to respond rather than react. The way she puts it is this: the first step is to visualize a pause button, perhaps on your chest, that you can press and initiate your pause moment. The second step is to bring your awareness to the space where you feel that pause button is situated and focus on that feeling in your body. The third step is to breathe deliberately and consciously in a slow, regular cycle for a minute. Place your hand to feel that movement of breathing over your diaphragm and feel that space building inside. To do this allows us to find the space to respond and turns our focus away from the stimulus to our feeling and allows us to attend to that feeling rather than the cause of it. With practice, this technique can strengthen and allow you in future to respond rather than react more readily. Our next video will look more into our mental health with regards to stress and anxieties. I'll see you there.